What does it mean to be free? You know, this summer I had a lot of time to think. My boyfriend and I spent 3 weeks traveling through Spain on his motorcycle, and we spent about 1 to 8 hours every day on the bike. And I had a lot of time with my thoughts. And this idea of freedom being trapping came to me, and I just been pondering on it for the longest time. You know, when we're little, we think that once we reach a certain age, we'll finally be free. And I reached that age. I have my own money, I have my independence. I traveled the whole summer because I wanted to. And somehow I still felt trapped. You know, the truth is that most of us don't know what to do with our freedom. That's why we choose paths that have restriction, that have parameters, so that we know what the road is like and so that we know the next step to take. We find comfort in that because the truth is that freedom comes with the responsibility of making choices. And the fact is that what we choose and not choose to do with our freedom is on us. To be free is to be condemned to be free. And I know it makes it sound like some sort of a punishment, like you're sentenced to prison, but the truth is that you can't escape freedom. You are free. And before you go off on me and tell me,
Sophia, you don't get it. I am trapped. I have a job I hate, but I can't do anything about it because I'm not qualified to do anything else, or maybe I can't afford to lose the job,
or whatever reason you found good enough to excuse your unhappiness, listen to this. An Austrian psychiatrist and Holocaust survivor wrote that everything can be taken from a man but one thing, the last of the human freedoms: to choose one's attitude in any given set of circumstances, to choose one's way. Arguably, this man was stripped of every one of his freedom. He couldn't choose when to wake up, he couldn't choose when to eat, what to eat, he couldn't choose what to do, he was forced to labor, he was estranged from his family, he was taken away from his home, he was taken away from his country. He couldn't do anything he wanted if he wanted to survive. But there was one thing he could still do: create meaning. He says that freedom is what we do with what is done to us. You know, if you watched any of my other videos, you know I emphasize the idea of letting go of control. We don't have control on a lot of things in life, but what we do have control on is what we do with what happens to us. We need to take a deep breath and look at our life. Find things that we're happy about, find things that we're not happy about, and find a way to change those things. You know, we can't sit here and feel bad because we don't like our life. Because have you even asked yourself what it is that you like to do? Maybe you do know, maybe you don't know. But if you don't know, then that's the first step. Maybe you do know what you like to do. Then find a way to work toward that. Because you sitting here telling me, oh, I'm trapped, is not gonna change your situation. It's just gonna make it worse. Because it's gonna sink you down and make you feel like you don't have control over your life. But you do, you have control on what you do with what happens to you. Find out what you like to do. Okay, find a way to do that thing and then work toward that, because working towards it will make you free. It will make you feel like you're doing something for yourself, that you're moving even just an inch every year. You're moving towards that goal. I want to invite you to break free of your limiting belief, to stop believing that you aren't good enough, that you can't be happy, that you can't change your situation. The man I mentioned before had arguably no freedom left. No reason to keep going, no reason to keep pushing, yet he did. And I'm not trying to guilt trip you. I'm trying to untrap you. I'm trying to give you hope. At whatever time of the year you're watching this, commit to you. Commit to your freedom. Commit to yourself. Because to me, to be free means to be unapologetically yourself. And more often than not, we don't know what that means. And so this year I'm on the journey to finding myself, to break free of my limiting belief and finally find freedom within me. So this is what I'm working on. I really hope you decide to join me as I bring you along on this journey. If you're interested in being more mindful and present, watch my Ichigo Ichie video, and I hope to see you next week.